Have you ever walked away from an argument wishing you'd handled it better? Or felt frustrated that someone's disrespect got under your skin? Well, stay tuned, because not only are we going to break down 5 powerful ways to deal with disrespect, but the final tip is something most people never consider. It's a game changer, and I promise it will completely transform how you carry yourself in any situation. So, if you're ready to not just demand respect, but command it effortlessly, watch this video all the way through. That last strategy, you won't want to miss it. Disrespectful people thrive on your reaction. They want to poke you, prod you, and get a rise out of you. That's their game. But when you refuse to play, that's when you win. There's where the silent stare comes in. When someone disrespects you, instead of snapping back or stuttering out a rushed defense, just pause. Look at them, calm, unshaken, and with absolute confidence. Why is this work? Because most people aren't used to silence. Silence isn't just the absence of noise, it's a psychological mirror. It forces them to reflect on their behavior, whether they realize it or not. Picture this. You're in a group conversation, and someone makes a belittling joke about you. Instead of nervously laughing or clapping back with a defensive comment, you simply lock eyes with them. The seconds stretch. They feel the weight of the room shift onto them. Suddenly, their little joke doesn't seem so funny anymore. And let me say this, silence, combined with a calm expression, speaks volumes. It says, I don't need to lower myself to your level. I know my worth, and so should you. 2. Flip the script. Use silence as a conversation killer. Let's take the power of silence one step further. Sometimes, the most brutal response to disrespect is no response at all. But here's the thing. This isn't about retreating. This is about owning the moment. Imagine someone sends you a passive-aggressive text like, "Oh, must be nice to have so much free time." Instead, leave it on read. That's right. No reply. No justification. Nothing. Or maybe you're in a conversation where someone tries to dominate the longest. You throw your head back. You let them side of power. And the one who can sit in it the longest, that's the person who holds the upper hand. 3. Speak softly, but with authority. We often think that handling disrespect means getting louder, tougher, or more aggressive. But here's the reality. Power isn't in how loudly you speak. It's in how calmly you can hold your ground. When someone disrespects you, take a deep breath, pause, then respond with a short, firm statement. That's not okay. I'd appreciate it if you didn't speak to me like that. Let's keep this conversation respectful. It might not seem like much, but these phrases are like emotional jabs. Why? Because they don't give the other person the reaction they're looking for. Instead of escalating, you're calmly shutting them down, and nothing frustrates a disrespectful person more. Here's a pro tip. Use their name. For example, if someone says something rude, you can respond with, "John, I don't think that was necessary." Using someone's name immediately makes your response feel more direct, personal, and impactful. And if you want to double the impact, Pair your words with steady eye contact. You're not just speaking, you're commanding the room. 4. Build unbreakable boundaries and enforce them. Let's get real for a moment. If you're dealing with repeated disrespect, it's often because you haven't set clear boundaries, or you've let people cross them. But here's the good news. Boundaries can be built at any time. So, what does that look like in practice? With coworkers. If someone constantly interrupts you, you might say, "I'll finish my thought and then I'd love to hear your input." With friends, if someone makes a joke at your expense, you can respond, "I get that you're joking, but I'm not okay with that." With family, if someone criticizes your choices, calmly say, "I appreciate your concern, but this is my decision to make." And here's the golden rule. A boundary is only as strong as your willingness to enforce it. If you let someone cross the line once, they'll assume they can do it again. Enforcing boundaries doesn't have to be dramatic. Sometimes it's as simple as walking away from a conversation, refusing to engage, or calmly repeating your stance. But every time you hold the line, you're teaching people how to treat you. 5. Know when to disengage and why it's the ultimate power move. Let's face it, some people will never change. No matter how calm, firm, or respectful you are, they'll keep pushing, testing, and disrespecting. And in those cases, the smartest thing you can do is disengage completely. Walking away isn't weakness, it's self-respect. It's choosing to prioritize your peace over their chaos. Think about it this way. If someone constantly disrespects you, they're showing you who they are. And if you keep engaging, you're showing them that their behavior doesn't have consequences. But when you walk away, you send a clear message. I value myself too much to stay in this situation. Disengaging doesn't always mean cutting someone off entirely, though sometimes it should. It might mean setting firmer boundaries, limiting your interactions, or simply refusing to take their words or actions personally. Whatever form it takes, disengaging is about reclaiming your power and your peace. 6. Bonus tip. Stay grounded in your worth. Here's the most important thing to remember. Disrespect says more about the other person than it does about you. People who belittle, criticize, or undermine others are often projecting their own insecurities. So don't let their actions define your worth. Instead, remind yourself of your values, your strengths, and the respect you deserve. Every time you handle disrespect with grace, you're not just protecting your dignity, you're also reinforcing your self-confidence. Respect isn't just something you ask for, it's something you command through your actions. Whether you're using the silent stare, setting firm boundaries, or choosing to walk away, remember this. Every time you stand up for yourself, you're teaching people how to treat you. So, here's your challenge. The next time someone disrespects you, pause, breathe, and then use one of these strategies to handle the situation with calm, unshakable confidence. Now, want to hear from you. Which of these tips resonated the most with you? And have you ever tried any of them before? Drop a comment below and share your story. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more insights on mastering yourself and handling tough situations with grace.